Hi, thanks for using My Court Coach. I'm Jalen, and I'm going to be your instructor as we talk about this confidential California law enforcement telecommunications system information form. The purpose of this form is so that if you do have a domestic violence restraining order currently in effect, then while you travel, let's say you go to Hawaii, for example, and your abuser shows up while you are there and they are harassing you or violating your current temporary restraining orders today, then you can immediately call law enforcement and they will see that there is a restraining order in the system protecting you from this individual, and they can take the proper action, which is hopefully arresting them. So the California law enforcement telecommunication systems, it is submitted to the Department of Justice and it's distributed nationwide, so you're protected regardless of where you are within the United States of America. So it's important to complete this form, and you would be required to complete it when you return your request for a domestic violence restraining order packet. So it's either going to be submitted within the initial filing, so the day that you file your request for a domestic violence restraining order, or it can be amended. It can be modified because you learned some additional information about the other party, or you learned more information that they received a tattoo and you needed to update this CLETS form to include that tattoo. And I'll get to why that particular statement is important. But you can go ahead and amend it. This is confidential. It doesn't become part of the public record. And so you need to have a case number. You should have a case number at the time of completing this form. So if you don't know it though, it's okay because the clerks will likely complete that number for you. Now, persons to be protected. So that would be you. And you would write in whether you're male or female, your height, your weight, your race, your hair color, your eye color, your age, of date of birth, your mailing address that's listed on the restraining order. And again, this is your mailing address, which is different from your, or can be different from your residential address. City, state, zip code, telephone, your vehicle, and license, state, and number. And this doesn't have to be completed perfectly, but it's always best practice to complete it to the best of your ability. So if you have to run out to the car to see your license number really quick just to complete that, it wouldn't be a bad idea to do so, because this again goes with the Department of Justice. So person to be restrained, this is very important as well. So you're going to include their name, their gender, their height, their weight, their race, their residential address, so where they live, and their business address, as well as where they work. What is their business title? What are their work hours? Their driver's license number and state, if you know it, their social security number, if you know it, what their vehicle is, what the license plate number is, and then describing any marks, scars, or tattoos. So if this individual does have any identifying information, like something written in Chinese on their, Mandarin written on their shoulder, then you would want to write that in there, that they have something written in Mandarin on their left shoulder. So this allows the law enforcement officer to be able to identify the individual specifically, not only based off of their name, but also if they see them and they see that tattoo and it's part of your restraining order packet, then they can easily pick up on that person and know that they're not arresting the wrong individual. And then other names used by the restrained person. So this could also include nicknames. It doesn't even have to be legal names, just nicknames that they're known in the street. So if they're part of a gang, for example, and they're known as Big Ricky, that's something that you'd want to list on there too, because maybe the law enforcement officer might hear somebody say, hey, Big Ricky, and the law enforcement officer will know, okay, well, this is the individual that I likely need to arrest, and they will, ask for their information and maybe check out that, star or a scar or tattoo that they have on their shoulder. Any guns or firearms. So if you suspect that this person does have guns or firearms, you're going to list what they are. So it said how many guns they have, the type of guns they have, and where those guns or firearms are located. If you don't know that information, then you don't need to fill it out. You can just write unknown. If you know that they don't have any of that, then you can write not applicable. Other people to be protected. So this is an individual that is a family member or other individuals that you listed within your household that you do want protected on the restraining order. And so if they're out and about on their own, let's say you're trying to protect your brother on the restraining order as well. So if your brother is out and about and they can be protected by your restraining order, because you've listed them on there, and they also have to stay 100 yards away from your brother, and your brother is listed as another person protected on this CLETS form, and he needs to call the police, then the police can go ahead and take proper action against the abuser. Now, additional persons to be protected. So if you have more than 2 individuals, then you are going to attach what they call an attachment form. And this form is the attachment form that you can obtain from the court's website. So this attachment form is this, and you can just write, 04 and add in that is other people to be protected. So for other people to be protected, and you just make sure that you write their name, their gender, their date of birth, and also their race and their relationship to you. And so you write all of that here, and you can go ahead and attach it to your CLETS-0001. So this is the form that you would need to complete competently in order for law enforcement to take action if, in fact, the other party or abuser does violate the current court orders, regardless of wherever you are at in the United States. Well, I hope this helps, and good luck.